The message is it's a must win. There's no thought of even leaving that stadium with a loss because it is playoff time.
It is getting to be about that time for the Broncos as they look to bounce back as the Lions come to town this Sunday, and we are getting you ready for kickoff. Hello, I'm Phil Milani alongside Sidney Jones and Eric Dalala. Guys, the defense played well enough last week to get the win in Kansas City, but the offense not so much, particularly at the wide receiver position. How can the Broncos and Teddy Bridgewater get the ball to guys like Courtland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick a little bit more?
Yeah, Phil. Well, as a whole, there's no denying that the passing game needs to improve. Head coach Vic Fangio, he's talked on numerous occasions this week discussing the lack of rhythm that this team has had in the passing game. And I think really it starts with some of these guys just winning more one-on-one matchups, like Teddy Bridgewater, he mentioned this week. Opposing teams, they know the guys that we have, they're aware of their skill sets, so these guys need to go out there and find a way to get open. If you look at the receivers as a whole, they've only scored one touchdown in the past 6 games, and Teddy Bridgewater, he came out and said that that's something that they're working on and is something they're going to focus on in practice this week. They're going to challenge each other harder than they have in recent weeks, and hopefully we'll see improvements of that this Sunday.
It's really since the bye week when Tim Patrick got a new deal, Courtland Sutton got a new deal. We haven't seen them really be a factor in some of these games, particularly Eric Courtland Sutton, only a couple of catches the last several weeks here.
Yeah, and we talk about catches, we talk about targets too. I don't think that targets are necessarily an issue. Courtland Sutton had 6 targets against Kansas City. Everyone wants Courtland Sutton to have 10, they want Jerry Jeudy to have 10, they want Tim Patrick, they want Javonte Williams to carry the ball 20 times. There's not enough plays for all that to happen. It's about being a little bit more efficient, I think. And so I'd like to see them get the ball to Courtland Sutton, to Tim Patrick in some of these higher percentage areas. Against the Chiefs, they were looking down the field to Tim Patrick and Courtland Sutton. But you think, hey, if they can get a little slant route here, a little comeback at 10 yards, let these guys make a catch and then go get some yards after the catch. That's been something we talked about all during training camp, that Teddy Bridgewater could be so good at giving these guys room to run. Haven't seen that here in the last few weeks, so maybe some high percentage throws, but I think they're just figuring some things out too, because Jerry Jeudy hasn't been back in the lineup for that many games. Obviously, it changes the dynamic when he's back, so they've got to figure out how do you make Courtland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick, and all the other weapons kind of work in concert together.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys out there, a lot of talent on the field. It just hasn't led to a ton of yards or a ton of points for this Broncos offense. Teddy Bridgewater, Sidney, you mentioned it, was asked a lot about this earlier this week. He said you just got to do it as part of the system.
We have plays that are dialed up, to get guys the ball specifically. We might come out of the huddle and say, hey, we want to throw the ball to Court here, and they play a coverage that take Court away. Okay, now Jerry gets an opportunity to catch a pass, and that's just how it works, man. Like, you might call a play for Tim, and the ball might go to Court. You might call a play for Jerry, and the ball might go to Javonte. So, man, teams are aware of, the guys that we have, their skill sets. So, we're just trying to create ways to get them the ball.
So the passing game needs a little bit of tweaking, but no problems right now with this Broncos running attack. No Melvin Gordon last week, so Javonte Williams gets his first start, and he really made the most of it. It got some people thinking maybe Javonte needs to be the starter here at running back. Sidney, what do you say?
Yeah, Phil, like you mentioned, I think a lot of fans are wondering this question now, especially since Javonte is coming off such a great game against the Chiefs, like you mentioned. But I say let's not change what's working well. We've seen all season long Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon. As they're splitting the carries, it's been working all season long, and it allows them both to stay healthy and to stay fresh. And let's not discredit what Melvin Gordon has done so far this season, too. He leads the team with 5 touchdowns. So I think we should keep doing what we're doing, have both Javonte and Melvin split the carries. They're both great players and need to have time with the ball. So let's not fix what's not broken.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that they're just one of 2 rushing duos in the league to each have more than 600 yards rushing. So the Cowboys, the other team, able to do that. Eric, what do you think? Does Javonte need more touches? He gets on angry runs pretty much every week.
You love those angry runs.
I love Good Morning Football.
Well, we talk about there are only so many touches to go around. In my mind, it doesn't really matter who the starter is. If Melvin gets the first carry, if Javonte gets the first carry, I think you could see that maybe now be dependent upon what the defense is doing, what the offense wants to do to start the game with that script. So even if Javonte is out there for the first play, I don't think it necessarily changes the whole philosophy of what this team is doing. But yeah, I would like to see Javonte get the ball a little bit more. Certainly in the passing game, he's been a weapon, but like Cindy mentioned, Melvin Gordon's been really good. He's probably a top 3 offensive player for the Broncos this year. You want to keep getting him the ball. And Phil, let's not forget, Javonte Williams is a rookie. You traded up to get him, so clearly you want him to be part of your future. Doesn't necessarily make sense to me to run him 25 times a game, kind of burn him out so early in his career. Keep him fresh, keep Melvin Gordon fresh. Maybe sprinkle a little touch of Mike Boone in there from time to time.
Okay.
And that's what's going to help this run game find success.
A little bit of a change of pace when Boone gets in there. But you mentioned that Javonte is a rookie. I mean, this is the time of year where college game starting to wind down. Javonte, they talk about that rookie wall. I don't think he'll be hitting that. But the way that he runs, so angry. I don't know if he could do that 25 times a game for 17 games, I think that a good balance is necessary.
He might run through a rookie wall.
That's true. That's a good point, Eric. It makes you think a little bit there. They may be competing for carries on the field, but off the field, these guys support each other, and no one was happier for Javonte Williams than Melvin Gordon.
I think either one of us right now, if we didn't have each other, probably be, top 5 in rushing. But we just in a position where we got two number ones here, and we just got to do what we need to do. But I mean, he balled out, man. He carried the team on his back. I don't think it was any question that could he carry the load by himself. I mean, we all know that. We all know he could do that, man. He's just that type of runner. But he's gonna be special, man, and he's gonna be here for a long time, man. He's gonna be a Bronco for a while.
All right, time for our third segment of the show here. Time to talk about the Lions a little bit. They're coming off their first win of the season, an emotional locker room scene after they were able to beat the Vikings a week ago. Gosh, it seems like the Broncos run into these teams right when they're getting hot. Are the Lions better than their record suggests, Sydney?
I would think yes, yeah, Phil. If you look at the Lions' past 4 games, they've been decided by less than 3 points, and overall, the Lions have lost 5 one-possession games. So, I mean, even head coach Vic Fangio, he talked this week, and he said that the Lions are a lot better football team on tape than they are based on their record. So, I mean, I think the Lions are going to come out and put up a good fight and try to keep it competitive.
A new start for the Lions this year. Dan Campbell comes in as the head coach. They make the trade with Matthew Stafford. Jared Goff comes in there. Well, what do you think, Eric? They have been in a lot of close games, but ultimately it comes down to winning.
Yeah, and you've got to find a way to finish these games. They finally did that, of course, against the Vikings. And like Cindy mentioned, they've been better after their bye week. The last 4 games have been markedly different. In the red zone is where they've improved specifically. The Broncos have to be good there. I think you've got to finish drives against this team, find a way to put them away early. Don't let them hang around, because this team they learned how to win last week. And Dan Campbell said this week, we got that taste. We want it again. Don't give them the chance to kind of hang around and potentially steal a win. I do think the Broncos, if you look at them across the board, are probably a more talented team. They found more success, and so they should be able to win this game, but they can't discount the Lions just because of the record.
Yeah, we heard Justin Simmons at the beginning of the show say this is a must-win game. The Broncos, if they want to make the playoffs, they have got to beat the Lions this Sunday. But Dan Campbell, that emotional leader, he's going to have his team ready to go. Vic Fangio, though, very complimentary of the football team in Detroit.
Their entire season, they've lost a lot of tough games. The last 4 games, they've tied 1, won 1, and lost 2 by 2 points. They're playing really good football right now. Their record is what it is, but the tape shows you a different football team.
Our favorite time of the show, score predictions. This is where you get a little insight into exactly what's going to happen before it actually does. It's pretty special. Sydney, let's get a score from you.
I'm going to go 24-10, Phil. Like we've talked about throughout this whole show, I think the Broncos, they're going to step up on offense, try and score more points, maybe improve in the passing game like we've discussed. And I think our defense is going to be able to stop the Lions since they have been struggling to score offensively.
Have you been listening to Neutral Zone?
No, is that what you guys
My
talked
score
about?
prediction, very close.
Oh.
I know you like to listen.
I do sometimes.
Eric, you got a score prediction?
I think a little bit higher scoring, 27-17. I think the Lions will get in the end zone a couple times, but ultimately the Broncos pull away, get a much-needed win.
Okay, so a couple Broncos wins. I say 23-10. That's right. So
Oh,
very
close,
close.
Phil.
Great minds think alike, Sydney.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know? So 23-10. I think this Broncos defense is playing really well right now, and I think that they'll take care of business, especially at home. The Broncos 3-3 at home this season, so looking for that 4th win here at Empower Field at Mile High. Kickoff at 2:05 this Sunday. That's going to do it for us. For Eric Dalala and Sydney Jones, I'm Phil Milani.